Okay, so people, thanks to Shirley and Kimmy at Entertainment Squad, I've just checked out this new indie joint called Sex Positive. It is directed by Peter Woodward, who co-wrote it with Marie Kirby. Executive produced by Gabrielle Almaga and Peter Woodward with Ford Zeton. It is associate produced by John Perry and line produced by Laura Singletary. Doug Millage handles the music. Kathleen Garcia, cinematography. John Perry edits the piece. Tracy Camp handled the casting. Hair and makeup, we've got Jennifer Spivey, Holly Manders, Lanny Hale, and Renee Dagrepont. Art department, Sam Bess, Marcus Chapper Wilson. And our cast. Well, Virginia is played by Katherine Ellis. Jake, played by Aaron Long. There's Truly Happy Girl, played by Ashton Leigh. Belle Eclair plays Cindy. Christian Menace plays Steve. Right? Jointa is played by Juliana Destefano. Loueez plays Leslie. Samantha is played by Tierney Malloy. Nigel is played by Anthony Del Negro. Autry plays Ray. Lydia Calder plays Becky. Gugu McGregor plays Joanna. Bill is played by Yamal Rodriguez. Rod is played by Brandon Pitts. Brady Box is Chris. Azina Zeit-Geist is January. Hank is played no other than Peter Woodward. Charlie is played by Ben Matheny. Grace is played by Teresa Alio. Winston, played by Ryan Bugman. His mother is played by Lara Grease. And his father is played by Gerard Brodin. Ian is played by Zach Rogers. Mrs. Spencer is played by Tracy Camp. Judith is played by Lorna Street Dobson. Hugo, Chris Ferrero. Donald, Mike Marker. Yeah, I think that's our main group of people. And the gist is this. Virginia tumbles into a wild and thrilling new world of sexual liberation when she moves in with a group of polyamorous party animals, including the charming but commitment-phobic Jake. So, yeah, that is it. Now, this is the directorial debut from Peter, right? He's been like, boy, he's, been in TV, film. He's done a lot of voice work. So, yeah, I think he knows his way in front of the camera. And it looks like he knows his way behind the camera as well. Now, I wasn't quite sure what this was going to be, So then when watching it, and yeah, it really is sex positive. It basically is what it says on the tin, right? Everything is on display here. Everything is on display, which I think the good thing is it's not just women, right? Because, I think when you watch TV and films and all of this, right? If you are a hot-blooded male, right? You're gonna see plenty of breasts, right? Sometimes you see a bit more, but you just think like women don't get the same, right? And it's only certain things like I mean, Rome seemed to be the first to do it. Right back in the day, that HBO series, which was great, 2 seasons. If you have not seen it, people, definitely go check it out. But you had Rome, and then Game of Thrones did it, right? Where, you know, they show dick, which, yeah, it is that weird thing, because the human body is not scary, right? It's not scary. Everyone's got the bits, and you can see the bits anywhere. But for some weird reason, things don't show it. So you see these weird films and shows where, you know, like you'll see all the girl, but then the guy's covering up with a towel or things like that, and it's always peculiar, right? Just the way people act, and you just think people don't act like that in real life, man. What the fuck are we doing? So yeah, this one doesn't do that, right? And I think the the thing that is good here is, although it's essentially a comedic piece, right? Dealing with Virginia, who, I mean, she gets herself into some, just the opening situation with her failed date or hookup or whatever it is, you know what I mean? You're just like, yo, I mean, what the fuck was that? How are you getting yourself into that situation, kid? You know? So we have that. And then she meets Jake, right? Who then, you know, talks her into this new thing. But so it's this comedy, but from this kind of journey Virginia is going on, we do get a lot of other topics kind of talked about, right? Like I mean, just gratification, you know what I mean? Like that, like penis size, breast size, like these things are talked about, you know, looks, what you actually are looking for in a partner, right? The things that you're willing to do and you're not willing to do, you know? I think that's interesting. There's one of the characters, like Leslie, she only likes girls, right? Doesn't want any penetration, which is absolutely fine. Because what is always interesting is sometimes you'll have a character and she's a lesbian, but then at some point, oh, she's getting fucked by a dude. And it's just like, what was that? Right? Because it's not like she ever came out and was like, I'm bi, or, you know what I mean? I'm just pan or whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, I'm straight lesbian. But then for whatever reason, she sleeps with some dude. And it's always a weird thing. So this character, she doesn't, you know? So I think that's good, because it's just like, look, you can be this or you can be that. And so it looks at all of these different things in this way, right? There's orgies and sex parties, but it's like no one is pressured into doing anything, right? It's what your gratification is what, you know, you will do. Then there's like there's a notion of relationships are looked at, right? And the things, because it's just like, you know, as I said, that like in this polyamory, you know what I mean, swinging kind of culture, kink culture, right? And so it's when certain things move, it's not like you must give this up. Everyone's like accepting of what these people want to do, you know, but everything seems to get discussed in a open way. You know, there's a funny scene where they do go to some BDSM, and you know, and it's just like, what are you into? And they just, it's just sex, and it's just reaction from that, right? It's truly speaks to parents and that Just the look on the parents' face is hilarious. Oh my, it's funny. It is funny. There are definitely some funny ass moments in this, right? Now, I would say, like, when it started off, it did feel like Virginia was a little OTT. You know what I mean? It was getting played up a little bit, but then it kind of just settles into a flow. And after that, yeah, I would say this was enjoyable. You know, I wouldn't say it's necessarily all the time realistic in the approach, right? It was like in the orgies and all of this, it was kind of like that porn thing. You know what I mean? Like when Harry met Sally, everyone's coming in that certain way, right? When not everyone comes like that, right? Not everyone comes like that. So there was that, but you can kind of get like they're trying to make it a bit funny and all of this. But I think when you boil it down, right? When you peel everything back and you boil it down to its essence, there are some actual, real honest and sweet moments here when it's just like, you know what I mean, dealing with some of these topics. And I think that was very good. That was good. That was nice. That was, poignant because, you get to kind of maybe have discussions during or after the film. You know what I mean? If you're renting it, you can just stop it and, maybe you pose that question to whoever you're with, right? Or at the end, you have that conversation. So that's good. Because as I said, it's not shying away from certain things, you know, or taboos, as it were. You know, I did not know of, I'd say, a huge chunk of the sexual sexual dalliances, the lists, basically, they were got. I don't, some of the, well, I was gonna say most of that shit, I'm just, yo, what the fuck is that? Wait, what does that mean? Huh? Like, yeah. I don't know if all of that was real, if they made any of those up, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a game people play, right? You watch the film and you do the positions when they're mentioned. I don't know. That's up to, right? I guess that's up to Peter and Marie and the rest of the people who made this to decide. But yeah, no, on the real, it's yeah, as I said, it's enjoyable. It was fun, right? I thought there's these slow motion shots which are funny, but they do work. They do work very well. So I thought, as a first feature, Peter does a great job actually framing this up and show coasting show my words, man. My words are like, but yeah, it looks good. It plays well. It's enjoyable. So I will say, right, if you like the kind, this kind of comedy, right? If you think of like Zack and Miri make a porno, Bottoms, right? Super bad, knocked up, right? That kind of thing. Um, yeah, if that, and we looked at something at the beginning of last year about a couple, right, who go to a sex club, and I cannot for the life of me remember, because that was very good. And if you like that, you would like this. I know that's not overly helpful. It was like End of the Affair, or oh fuck, man, that's gonna really bug the fuck out of me. But anyway, people, if you like that kind of comedy, that little bit like that raunchy, but not like offensive, you know, if that's your thing and you're not put off by sexual nature, you know what I mean? Then listen, sex positive is going to be for you. You will enjoy it. It will make you smile. And it might have you, as I said, pose some questions, have some discussions. But see, I feel it's that kind of film. You know what I mean? So, people, it will be hitting cinemas on the 9th of February, and it is coming to VODs in May, right? So mark those down on the calendar. Because yeah, you might want to give it a go. It's play it by ear again as well, right? Not quite the same thing, but that was, that was that online TV series, right? And as I said, it's not the same thing, but it poses some similar questions like that one. And the end of sex was was the other film that we looked at last year, right? So yeah, if those type of things are for you, sex positive will be as well, right? So the 9th of February in cinema and in May for VOD. Look, once I get a proper date, I'll put it on the website. But yeah, sex positive. Go check it.